right. Just wanted to make a quick little educational video on gaps. Um, gaps is a huge part of my trading strategy. Um, it really is more or less like price targets, I guess you could say, in the long run, right? Where the market's going to go, what's kind of left open, and gaps kind of act like magnets that the market just likes to fill. So here we are on NASDAQ. I basically only trade NASDAQ futures. And I just wanted to kind of show what I do in order to keep track of where the market's at, where it should be going, where it's going to go, and so forth. So we can get right into that. Right now it's, 2012 UTC 5 here. This is electronic trading. Market is open, live. It's down $3. All right, but so this is what I do. Well, why don't we? I'm on an hourly chart, just so I can just go back and pick frickin' anywhere and see what we can do here. Replay mode, start anew, right? Let's just pick here, see what we got. All right. What I like to do is I like to track them on a 15-minute chart because I feel like the most accurate ones is when they kind of hit a 15-minute wick. And I'll just come down here and go to regular trading hours. Okay. Regular trading hours. This is random. So this is what would be a gap in the market, right? This is an area where eventually we would come back and fill it, right? Here's an example right here, actually. Let's just try this one so I could show you. There's a few. See, it happens a lot. Here we go. Okay, starting a new trading session, right? This is going to be 9:30, 15-minute candle, right? So what I'm aiming for is the fill of this gap here, which is the top of this 15-minute candle. So I click my horizon line, I click that, and I have a setting that already has the, says gap fill unfilled, right? And I will change that to filled after it has been filled. Drop down to a lower time frame, see what's going on, right? But market's gapping up and opening up. I'm waiting for some sort of setup, whatever your setup is for a trade entry, more or less, in order to get into the trade to take it down, to fill this gap. A lot of people will actually not touch or make a trade at all until the gap gets filled. So there's two ways to do it. You can trade into the gap and you could trade out of the gap. Now if we hit fast forward, right, pushes up, comes down, it's just chopping, right? So if you're a trend line guy, you're not trying to trade this gap short yet because the market's pushing up. There you go. You get a trend line break on a 5-minute, and fast forward. Sometimes it doesn't do it till the next day as well. But what a short entry that would have been right there, right? But at some point, I'm anticipating this gap to get filled. And if I want to try and avoid all this chop right here, I can just wait. There you go. Gap filled. A lot of people will go long and, trade out of the gap. But I love how it waits till 1600, very end of the day, just collapses and fills it. All right, let's go to the next day. See what happens. Okay, gap way up. Way up, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to a 15. And I'm just going to go to that top of that candle, and that's how I just kind of play it safe. Fast forward, it's wanting to push up again. Yep, and then this kind of a, trend situation, right, is continuing. So you don't want to just enter the market just to go to fill it. But okay, so this day the market is gapping in between. So we haven't filled this one yet. Horizontal ray. So I'm going to mark this, settings, right, gap line, see which one it gravitates towards, right, and bink. All right, you got this one filled. So what I like to do is I go settings and I change this to gap filled. And then it might come down and take out the next one. All right, well, next day. So you could have took a nice short scalp, right? Just hanging out and waiting for this one to get filled and then come on down, right? So now we have two, kind of this zone here. Settings, gap fill, unfilled. So now we have two unfilled gaps to the upside here. We have kind of support in this area where we bounced before. Nice gap down. All right, so hitting that gap unfilled resistance, and let's see if there you go. Nice wick right through that one right there. Once again, you almost could have just went long and just, targeted this upper one and it hit both. Right, so now every gap has been filled. Settings. Filled, right? I'll actually just delete these as they get filled, but for the sake of video purpose, right? So in that short amount of time, when did we start this? Right here at this gap somewhere. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 days. There's 1, 2, 3 targets you could have had, right? Let's just keep playing out. Right. No real gaps. Also, too, I use that to determine if the market's gapped up quite a bit or down quite a bit, how much volatility we might have for the day. I don't really like trading days where, the market opens flat, right? $6, $3, that kind of situation. I like to wake up, look at the charts and see, market's up 60, 70 points. I do my little line here, and I'll actually go back to electronic trading and look for a setup and or just wait till we get to one of these zones, because typically a lot of times, which I could save for another video, but turn the anchor on. A lot of times these are just pivots, right? So if I just do a Fibonacci retracement from here to here, can you see that? Maybe not. Let's make it black. Right. I mean, you can see that a 23 retracement, the market actually came down, tapped it, and went right back up, filled that gap, came down, gapped below the 38 here and went up. But you can see my gap fill and a 23, they're like right next to each other, right? So a lot of times that happens. I can do, let me know if you want a Fibonacci retracement video or a projections video. But I can kind of see that this, is doing some sort of trend here. Magnets on. But so far there's no gaps. We can keep forwarding through. There's some volume pushing through that trend line there. Okay, so there's a gap right there, right here. Let's see what the reaction looks like out of it. There it is. tapped it, and then turned around and went, turn and burn right back up. Bink. I'm taking out this freaking high now. But you could see that. Look at the respect there. So market opens above, right? We right at the top of this 15-minute candle on RTH, comes down, wicks right through it, and then goes right for that high right here. And I wouldn't have been looking for a long I noticed this right here, drew a line there, popped through, retested it, and came right back up. Simple. Keep it simple. Oh, let's just see what happens. There's a gap. There's a small gap. And notice the gap fill. So we have this gap, right? Unfilled. It came up here and it filled it. Came back down, right? Okay, we come right up. We start right at it again, and it comes down, fills this one. We pop through it. We come back down to it. We gap above it. But look at where this 15-minute candle's at. We didn't even have to move it. That's where our gap is unfilled. Right there. And we come down and we smash right through it. Look at how it's respecting it still. Oh, huge gap up right here. And, this is our same. We don't even have to move this. This is just where the market has been gravitating to, right? This is unfilled. Delete this. Remove this. Remove. Right? So we have this massive gap now. See what happens. What I would be doing would be that. Right? Let's see. Bottom of that 15-minute. Top of that. Okay, you see how it retraces down into this 23, and then it's just respecting it, right? Yeah, gap and go. That's another day here, I believe. Yeah, 9:30. So here, you could have just shorted the open and got your, I was just trying to aim for 25 points, with some PAs, just try and grab $500. This is continuing to push, but I'm just going to leave this, right? I will just leave that. That will be an area in the future that I will continue to monitor. Obviously doing a lot of other things with electronic trading and this and that, but this is just one thing that I do in order to keep track, right? And I mean, how many days did we get, down here just in this little consolidation zone, everyone hit, you know what I mean? So let's try another one. There's one right here. Just on a 15-minute time frame. Gap fill, unfilled, as far as I'm concerned. That's unfilled. See if you get a wick through it. Bink. Right there is tapping it. And it filled. It pushed up. So market strong. It's been pushing up. Gap below. Took out this little low right here and went up. So I hope this helps. If you want to see some other videos on Fibonacci's and pivots and that sort of thing, I use all of that as well. But let me know what you think. And we will be trading tomorrow. So have a good day.